Hey everyone, this is Mukesh Otwani once again from learn-innovation.com. Today in this lecture I'm going to talk about one real-time issue that you might face once you start working with WebDriver IO and the moment you have a new system. Okay, so this is a new system which I have configured and I have already installed Node.js and I have already installed VS Code and I have just imported all the code that we have seen so far. Now the moment I will try to run this, let's see what happens. Okay, so I will go back. First of all I will try npx WebDriver IO run, then I'm going to run this WebDriver IO config file. Okay, the moment I run this, it's going to take few seconds and then it's going to start browser. But you will notice one thing, it says execution of 3 workers started at this point. Okay, this is the date time it captured. Now it is trying to launch, but you will see a strange behavior now. It exited from here. It has not performed any test. It has not started my browser, but it has also not given me any information that what went wrong. So if a newcomer, then for you it will be difficult to identify what went wrong, because if it is showing you some exception or some error, at least you can understand what went wrong. But here it just say execution started, but it came out of that execution mode and now it is asking us to run again. Now how you can see the logs and all. So if you remember in our last lectures, we have just changed this log label to silent, right? The moment you say log label silent, it will not show you if something goes wrong here. So now if I want to see what is happening behind the scene, okay, when we are running this config file, what is happening behind the scenes. So I'm going to change this to either debug or info, or you can also use trace as well. So let me try with info. Okay, now let me run this again. So I'm just going to run the same command, which is npx WebDriver IO, and the moment I hit enter, now I will get some additional information which I was not getting earlier. As you can see, execution, this was same, but now it says launcher running some pre-prepare hooks. So we discussed about the hooks in the last lecture, right? What exactly is hooks? Like before running the test or before running a test field, it is going to run few commands or few operations. But now you've got something interesting which will help you to fix it. It says error, it is not able to find Java. Because of that, it is not able to start our sessions. Now once you understand what is wrong, so let's quickly see, do we have Java or not? So I'm going to start a command prompt. Okay, now let me just check the Java version. I will say Java space -version, and you can see Java is not recognized as internal or external command. So it means once you install Java, this problem will be fixed. So let's quickly install Java and then we will try to run it again and we'll see whether it is fixing our issue or not. Okay, so let's install Java. So let's see how to install Java 8 in Windows 10. Okay, so if you're using Windows 11 or previous I will say Windows version, then slight changes you might have to do, but at the time of recording I'm showing you Java 8 with Windows 10. If you're working with Mac or if you're working with Linux, then you might have to follow a little different approach that we will discuss in some other lecture. Okay, so this video is all about Windows 10 and JDK 8. So in order to get started, just type Java just type JDK 8 download. The moment you click here JDK 8 download, you can see it is navigating to oracle.com and it is navigating to Java downloads. Now I will open this in a new tab and you will notice one thing, that at the time of recording the latest available version is Java 17. Okay, but we are going to use Java 8 because that is the most compatible version as of now. But if you're using JDK 11 also, it's fine. But once we move ahead, we will integrate this with Maven, Jenkins and TestNG, and that time we might face some issues. Okay, so as of now let's stick to JDK 8 and that will be compatible with all the other libraries and dependency that we're going to use. Fine. So now if you see, we don't have any options for JDK 8. It is saying JDK 17, and we have options for Mac, Windows, Linux. Okay, so depends on your operating system, you can go ahead and download. but we need as of now JDK 8. So if you go back, you can see one option called Java Archive Downloads. The moment you open this, now you can see we have JDK 8. As you can see, JDK 8202, this is the build number, and again for which operating system we are looking for. So we are looking right now for Windows 64. So the moment you click on this exe file, now it will ask you to accept some terms conditions. So just click on this checkbox. Now let me click on download, and the moment I click on download, as you can see, now it is asking you to sign in. Again guys, don't worry, just a free account. You can just create an account from here, fill some basic details like phone number, email address, and some other basic details, and your account will be activated. So I already have an account with Oracle, so I'm just going to log in with that account. Okay, just my Gmail ID and some random password that I have added. Please use your account, okay, your username, your password, and click on sign in. The moment you sign in, it is going to log in automatically, and it will start downloading that JDK 8 that we have requested. As you can see, it started downloading. It's a small file which is 212 MB, and I already have downloaded. So just to save your time, I'm going to cancel this. Okay, and I will show you. So this is exactly exe that you will be getting, JDK 8U202. You can go with 212, 221, doesn't matter, okay? But make sure it's JDK 11. Now in order to install, you just need to double click on it, and it will follow just like any other normal software that we install on Windows. So let's wait. So it will install in your system. Then we have to do some basic configuration. So when I say configuration, we need to basically set the path, okay? So let me show you that as well. So as you can see, it now is asking you to complete the setup. So no problem, click on next, and again you can see it is asking, do you want development tool, source code? Just select the default options, click on next, and it's going to take few seconds, and it will install JDK 8 in your system. As you can see, there's an important notice here that corporate user will be impacted with April 2019 update. So anyways, we don't have to do with this as of now. Click on OK. Now you can see this is the destination folder. So just notice this path. It is going to install at this location. Okay, so once we complete this installation, we are going to set Java path. So we are going to go to this location, and we are going to set the path. Okay, so if you want, you can make a note. Anyways, once we do the setup part, I will show you. Click on next, and it's going to take few seconds again, and it will install Java. As you can see, now it says successfully installed, and we simply have to click on close. Now let's configure the path. So we are going to set two path variables. Okay, one is user variable, and then it will be a system variable. So in the system variable, we are going to give the path till bin, and in the user variable, we are going to give the path till home directory. So here the name will be java_home, and the value will be where Java is installed. So generally for Windows, it goes to C drive, program files. As you can see, Java folder, click on Java, and you can see this is the same JDK that we have installed, right? Click on JDK, and this is known as your JDK home directory. So Java_home, make sure it is exactly same, Java_home all in caps, and this is where the location that we need to set. Now in the system variable, we have to give the path till bin. So this is the binary folder, and in the system variable, we have to give the path till here. So I will copy this as well. I will paste here. Okay, these are the two variables that we need to set. So let's go back. Click on your my computer or this PC, whatever name you are getting. Right click on this, and you can see we have something called properties. So as you can see, this window will open up, and you can see we have something called advanced system settings. And if you don't want to go from here, you can go to the search bar and type the same, but click on advanced system settings as of now. and it is going to open this system property for you. So this is a computer name hardware. Right now we need to set the environment variable. So as you can see, advanced environment variables, click on it, and right now we have just one user variable, one is system variable. As I mentioned, first we will go and make user variable, which is java underscore home, and give this the path. So I will click on new, and I will give the variable name is java underscore home, and the variable value I can give this value, or I can click on browse directory and I can do the same thing. So you can see it's added here. Now second is path variable. Now again, this is a very important section, guys. Do not delete, do not create, you just need to add it, because the moment you added this, it is going to crash your system once you restart. Again, if you create a new path variable, it might override some previous values, which might create issue. So please only edit this path variable, and this window will open up. Here you can click on new, and then you can give the path till bin. Okay, so click on new and give the value or the path till bin folder, and click on OK. Click on OK, click on OK, and that's what we need to do. Fine. So now if you want to cross check whether Java is installed successfully or not, so I'm going to open a command prompt, and you can see we got this command prompt. Let me just type java space hyphen version. If you get this version which we have installed, which is 1.80_202, which is same, it means your Java is configured successfully. Now you can execute any Java program, you can create any Java programs using any editor. So make sure you just reload this VS Code once, okay, because once you install Java and it might not pick up. So before running this command, make sure you just reload the VS Code once. And now let's run the same command again. So I will write npx webdriver io run space colon, now webdriver io .config.js, and hit enter, and it should start our session. So let's wait. Execution of 3 workers started. Run on prepare hooks. As you can see, there are 2 passes and 1 failed. This one failed because that browser which we started, it was taking too much time to load. Because of that, the test has been failed. That we can run again and we can see. But the main goal was that initially before installing Java, it was not even working. Then we installed Java and we reloaded the VS Code. After reloading the VS Code, now when we executed, since we had 3 spec files all executed, 2 passed, 1 failed. The one which is failing because of the browser is too slow for that particular session. Okay, so if you face this issue, now please change this log level to info, debug, and rectify. Now since we have rectified all these issues, now I can go back and say silent, because the moment you say info, you can see a lot of information is coming. Sometimes you might miss some important details that you need for your test, right? You can see it's giving a lot of other details. So that's the reason in the last lecture we have made it to silent, which I will make it again, and we will continue. That's all about this video, guys. So in case this helped you in any manner, then yes, please support this channel by subscribing, share with your friends, colleagues, those who are facing same issues. And yeah, if you face any other issue regarding test automation, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.